Hey, what's up? This is Sam from Zroder MMA Bet, and this is arguably the most comprehensive and profitable MMA betting channel on YouTube. I have experience of betting MMA and the UFC for over 10 years, and in this video I'll be doing my full card predictions, analysis, breakdowns for UFC on ESPN 27, Dillashaw vs Sandhagen. I'll divide these videos as follows. First, I'll talk about all the picks and the bets, then on to the breakdowns at the end. If you'd like to support the channel, stick until the end, I'll show you how. And the only caveat here, guys, is the way I'm doing things. You're free to follow anything I'm doing here as long as you take a look in the disclaimer, all right? So right off the bat, let me show the best results for you guys from previous card, the consistency that I talk about, then we're going to be talking about the full card, all right? Awesome, everyone. So this is, if you're not familiar to this, I have in the description a link where I explain the spreadsheet. Basically, I show all the results that I have from the start of the channel, which was July next year, previous year, sorry. So basically, I put everything that all the bets they are recorded, and whether I have profit or losses, everything is showing here. So this is adding up to 700% profit through this year if I'm comparing the amount I'm betting per event, or in unit size, this is 113 units or 113% from the start of the channel. For this year, it's nearly 53 units, right? I have different metrics here. Feel free to take a look at this when my accuracy in terms of picks and the bets when I bet the juices and the dogs. I also separate these things into high, medium, and low quality bets and how this is adding up in each segment, all right? And I have in these charts here so you guys can see through time. So by the time that I'm recording this video, June has finished. I ended up with a loss of nearly 6.5 units, which is quite significant. But as you guys can see, the profit is consistent, and these things happen. So like I told you guys, this is all transparent. I don't have anything to hide, all right? So hopefully things will come around and we're gonna cash nicely in this card, all right? So on to all the picks and the bets. This is not in order, then I'll do my breakdowns in order, all right? Between Adrian Yanez versus Randy Costa, I'm picking Yanez but not betting the fight. Darrick versus Darren Elkins, I'm picking Maynard, not betting the fight. Phillips versus Raulian Paiva, picking Phillips, not betting the fight. MIranda Maverick versus Maycee Barber, picking Maverick, not betting the fight. Then on to some bets. Aspen versus Macy Chiasson, I'm picking Lad tentatively, but I'm betting Chiasson. I'll explain why in the breakdown. Daukaus versus Shamil Abdurakhimov, picking and betting Abdurakhimov, 1% of my money. Jordan Williams versus Mickie Gall, picking Williams, not betting the fight. Julio ARce versus Andre Ewell, I'm picking and betting Ewell. This is my biggest bet of the card. This is a medium quality bet on my eyes, 2.25% of my money. Heinisch versus Nassourdine Imavov, picking and betting Imavov. Sorry, picking Heinisch and betting Imavov, 0.75% of my money. Brendan Allen versus Punahele Soriano, pick and betting Allen at plus 115, 1.25% of my money. Sijara Eubanks versus Elise Reed, picking Eubanks, not betting the fight. Aaron Phillips versus Cameron Else, picking and betting Phillips, tiny bet, 0.5%. Cory Sandhagen versus TJ Dillashaw, I'm picking and betting Dillashaw, 1.25% of my money. This is a decent bet in my eyes, all right? So as we spoke about, onto the breakdown, guys. This is a stacked card. This is a very good one. I'll do my best here to make things concise, but interesting and not too long, all right? So between Eubanks and Elise Reed, Eubanks, she's coming down to a flyweight. This is the biggest factor in this fight in my eyes, you know, because she tried before. Eubanks tried. She had severe weight cut issues. I think she's trying again because she wants to revamp her career, but she's not getting any younger. You know, she's now 36, so it's not gonna be easy to do, especially when you start getting aged. I don't know if maybe she's fixing her diet or something, so maybe she can do it, but she's a big girl. As a bantamweight, she's stocky, she's compact, you know. I think she's doing a wrong move in her career here because, like I said, in the past she tried and she struggled there. She's fighting Elise Reed, who in the opposite could use it to fight as an atomweight, which is one weight class lower than strawweight, 105 pounds. So this Reed, she's actually not a small strawweight, but she's moving up to flyweight. So it's gonna be interesting to see a very big and powerful, if she makes the weight cut right, Eubanks against Reed, who's trying to make her name for herself. But both of these girls are quite talented. Sorry. Eubanks packs lots of power on the stand-up. She's more like a brawler, but she shines on the feet, on the ground, and she shoots when she takes top position. She's a great BJJ player. She's a decorated one. Elise Reed's no slouch anywhere. She has decent hands, decent striking, commits, good accuracy, not bad grappling. But she has only 4 fights, so this is most likely Eubanks' fight to win. She should be able to outstrike her, read a little bit, probably be able to land heavier, take her down, hold her down. But it all comes down to the weight cut. Again, guys, this is a big factor in this fight, because if Eubanks doesn't cut the weight well, she could gas, she could have a bad weight cut, and she could gas basically. And if that happens, Reed can definitely take over if she survives the first round, which most likely she will. I'm going Eubanks by decision, but it's a tricky fight to bet because of what I said. Right? These are my comments to you guys. These are my calculations for this fight. Feel free to pause here. This is worth your time. Phillips versus Cameron Wells. Aaron Phillips, an interesting one. To be honest, guys, Cameron Wells, he's in a good camp in Jackson's, but I haven't seen much talent, and I don't mean this bad, just maybe at this point in his career. I see him as a very tough, big guy for the division who tries to grapple, wears on guys using his size, but not much technique, especially on the striking. He looks a little bit sloppy in my eyes, doesn't pack much power, coming straight lines, chin is up, make lots of mistakes. He's fighting Aaron Phillips, who is known for being a great kicker but struggling from his back. This could be a factor here because Cameron Wells definitely going to try to take him down and hold him down. But I think Phillips at this point, he can stuff those takedowns because Else is not that technical, neither on the wrestling, neither on the grappling, at least from what I've seen from the videos. So I expect that Phillips going to be able to hang with him. Phillips can even take him down and play top position here. So to me, this is Phillips' fight to win. That's why I'm betting him a little bit, But like I said, Else is in a good camp, and Phillips is known for being struggling against guys who are on him. So we'll see what happens. But to me, Phillips is a decent favorite here. I'm going with him by TKO. He's a minus 200 favorite in my eyes. The bookies show him even a little bit less expensive, less juicy than that. So to me, it makes sense to bet Phillips. I'm gonna take a small bet on him, like I said. All right. So these are my comments to you guys. These are my calculations. Feel free to pause here. Darrick Minner versus Darren Elkins. Great fight. This is a good level fight. I like this one. 2 excellent grapplers. Minner showed the improvements his last fight. Showed more patience, not like just bull rushing and fighting for 2 minutes and just guessing. He used more like a paced approach. He is a great grappler. He showed that against Charles Rosa. He can control at his best. He's a force in this division. I'm curious to see his striking because he goes so much for the takedowns and for the grappling that it's tough to tell whether he's a good striker or not. Seems to be an okay striker, maybe a little bit below the average of the division, but seems to be a fairly decent striker and a great grappler. Darren Elkins, I can say quite similar things about him, especially he has proven himself way more in the striking. He doesn't pack that much power, always has been his problem, and also has been in so many wars, which is also a problem because of the scar tissues he has, etc. So this is an interesting one. It's a very tough fight to call. If you're gonna count the stars, Elkins should be the favorite here, but I'm taking Minner here, guys. Actually, I could put 1 star less for. Actually, Elkins deserves a 4-star even though he's 37 because he still pushes the pace, So Elkins definitely can win this fight if he can hang with Minner on the grappling department. I think he can. And it's gonna be interesting to see whether Minner can somehow land clean on Elkins, open those scars again. So we'll see what happens here, guys. I'm going Minner just basically because he moved to a good camp and he looked good his last fight. He's 6 years younger, so it's significant here. But like I said, to me, it's nearly a pick him. If you by the error margin and putting my calculations, this could be a 50-50. But still, I'm gonna be taking Minner inside the distance, and But I would actually I'll be betting Elkins by decision if I can catch him at plus 300, because like I said, he can hang in there and he's gonna push the pace. He's gonna test Miner's cardio, which is, again, we haven't seen much this except for the last bout, which was not that competitive. You know, he was able to stay on top of Rosa, not use too much energy. So it could be Elkins in the round 3. You know, I didn't put here, but actually Elkins round 3 at plus 1400, something like that. It's definitely worth it in my opinion. These are my calculations, guys. Feel free to pause here. Like I said, Elkins on the round 3, it's a good one. If you like Miner inside the distance, probably round 1 and round 2, more likely, right? But it's not impossible that Miner wins a decision as well, you know. So back and forth between these guys by decision, but like I said, as an underdog, maybe I would go Elkins by decision as a prop bet. Julio ARce versus Andre Ewell, my biggest bet of the card, like I said. Basically, guys, two excellent strikers going at each other. ARce better known for his technical boxing. He's better, way better as a counter striker than on the front foot when he makes mistakes. The opposite is true for Ewell. Ewell is excellent on the front foot and can get hit quite a bit on his counter punching, even though it's super tough to hit Ewell because he's such a big guy for the division, you know, massive, long arms, you know, 77 inches for featherweights is just ridiculous. And to me, he has the size and the speed and the power here. That's why, in my eyes, Ewell should be a favorite, or at least a pick him. This should be a pick him fight. And I see Ewell as a plus 200 dog. This is definitely the best bet for me here. What I expect again is Ewell being able to make it competitive, taking the front foot. ARce gonna have his moments. ARce probably will try to take him down, but Ewell has fought wrestlers before. He improved in his takedown defense. It's back and forth, guys. Could go either way. ARce, he doesn't use much calf kicks, you know. At least, actually, he can use those. Let's see if he's gonna use here. But for ARce to win, he's gonna have to use kicks, and Ewell gonna be trying to jab and throw that long straight on him. To me, Ewell has a little bit more chance because of the reach, because of the speed and the power. But again, could go either way. ARce is super technical and a decent wrestler. All right, so these are my calculations, guys. Feel free to pause here. Heinisch versus Nassourdine Imavov. Very interesting one, this one. It's not entirely grappler versus striker, but probably will be the way they're both gonna be trying to fight here. Heinisch, great wrestler, great grappler, you know, tenacious. He's also not a bad striker, but he's fighting a guy in Imavov that is known by being a fearsome striker. He throws heat, Imavov does, you know, straight punches. He's a tall, quite long guy, nasty liver shots. So when he gets inside and starts teeing off, this guy is dangerous. He has knees. No slouch on the ground as well, you know, good takedown defense, can get that back up. But Heinisch is the grappler here. He has more, you know, BJJ, better transitions, more wrestling pressure. So it's gonna be, again, grappler versus striker. It's tough to tell, guys, what's gonna happen here, but depend a lot on Imavov, whether he can stuff and get back up. I think he can for most of the time, but I'm not sure. Plus, Heinisch could control Imavov quite a bit, and he goes for ground and pound, but if he's gonna try to pound Imavov too much, Imavov gonna explode from the bottom. So could be Heinisch trying to control him more and Imavov doing more damage. So it will depend whether the judges will favor more grappling or damage here. It's not consistency. It's consistent through MMA. You know, sometimes they score grappling, sometimes they score damage, and it's not that clear, at least you know, from my experience here. So again, could go either way. I'm going Heinisch by decision, but pick and fight again. You know, I could call Imavov by decision, but I'm not calling Imavov by decision because Heinisch has more chance for the decision. So I'm giving you guys the safest prop pick. Let's put it this way. But in terms of overall, Imavov has more chances for the KO. You know, he could land a knee and uppercut when Heinisch shoots. So to me, it makes sense to bet Imavov as a pick him to my eyes, you know. And as a plus 130 dog, there's a small value there. So 50-50 in my eyes, like I told you guys. Imavov a little bit more chance for the KO. Heinisch more chance for the decision. So that's why I picked whom I pick, and I'm betting Imavov. Alright, so these are comments for you guys. These are my calculations. Feel free to pause here and let me know, guys, how you are betting this fight, alright? Or this fighter, the entire card. Jordan Williams versus Mickey Gall, another tricky one. Williams, again the weight cut here. Williams is a guy that has some type of diabetes. I don't quite know too much about this, but I know that he couldn't cut weight before. I don't know what he's doing here. If he somehow managed to be able to fix his diet to be able to cut and not put his health in jeopardy. So I don't know what's going to happen here, guys. If Williams can actually cut the weight well, he probably can. Otherwise, he wouldn't be risking here. So he's going to be fighting Gall, who is known to be a grappler, but Gall is trying to improve his striking. He definitely doesn't have the rounds, whereas Williams, tough guy, hits quite hard, actually. He's to hit quite hard as a middleweight, so he's going to be doing pretty well in the welterweight division, at least from a power perspective. And he's known to be a tenacious guy. He keeps coming, has a great chin, and he adds up in volume. He's not too technical anywhere. Decent wrestler, decent striker in terms of technique, but he keeps coming, keeps landing. He hits shots he doesn't care. He keeps coming. So I think we're gonna see Williams stuffing Gall's takedown and pushing the pace, landing on Gall. Gall is not known by his cardio. I don't know if he's not known by that, but at least in my eyes, hasn't proved himself at least well enough with his cardio. So we'll see if Gall can also pick up the pace, improve his striking and his cardio. But again, guys, it's more the experience is on Williams' side. He's proven himself won against tougher competition at least, So, but this could be, a very tricky one because Gall is a young guy, he's hungry. So it's a very tricky one to bet. I'm picking Williams by decision. I'm going to be skipping this one, but if people keep betting Williams, I would take Gall like plus 230 dog. Then it would be some value there. I would take him. But as of now, I'm passing on this one. These are my comments to you guys. Feel free to pause here. And these are my calculations. Feel free to pause here. Let me know how you're betting this one. MIranda Maverick versus Maycee Barber. Interesting one. Could be the striker versus grappler again. In terms of matchup, not because they don't have the skills in the other area. Maverick, big girl for the division as a flyweight. She's she has decent hands. She's improving there, but she's definitely is at her best when she's the grappler. She can use a decent wrestling. She's a good grappler, like I said. She's an active no-gi competitor. Barber, known for her power, for her aggressiveness, but when she gets pushed back, she struggles. She adapted a little bit to that. I think she's doing better, but still she doesn't have the rounds, doesn't have the experience. It's gonna be interesting to see what she's gonna do when Maverick starts shooting on her. I think she's gonna struggle. I think she's gonna get worried of the takedowns, be wary of her hands. So Maverick could take over on the striking as well, just because she could threaten Barber on the takedowns. Plus Barber is not naturally a counter puncher. And so I'm going Maverick here. I'm rewarding consistency a little bit better. It's a tricky one to bet because Maverick is a small favorite, and the bookies have exactly what I have by my calculations. So if you're gonna ask me to bet, I don't know, man. Probably I would go Maverick. I think she has more chances to win this fight. She has proven a little bit more, even at minus 150. And I like to bet the dogs more than the juices. But Barber, I would take Barber maybe at plus 180 dog or something like that, Or Barber by TKO. There's some value there if you can catch her like a plus 600 or something. But this is likely going to the decision because both of these girls are tough. Barber, she's not a grappler, but she doesn't make many mistakes. She's not gonna just give submissions to Maverick, So I think Maverick wins by decision by wearing on Barber, controlling her a little bit, plus being competitive on the feet. But Barber can win definitely, guys. She's young. She's 23. She could bring just giant improvements here, And this girl is committed to her career. She's super tough, So again, super tricky to bet as well. All right, these are my calculations, guys. Phillips versus Raulian Paiva, high-level fight in the bantamweight division. Paiva moving up, which is interesting because he was not a small flyweight, was a tall, long one, but he's fighting a big bantamweight in Phillips. super tall, long, athletic guy, has skills everywhere. You guys see his rating. He has lots of potential, Kyler Phillips. The problem that I have with Phillips is that he didn't show good cardio in the tough season. That's why, to me, that's why he didn't win that season. But it was like back in 3 years ago, maybe even more. So you could rule that out because Phillips has proven himself with good cardio against Song Yadong and the other guy too. But the thing is here, guys, Paiva, he's a pressure fighter. He's gonna keep coming. He's more efficient in his movement. So even Phillips having the cardio in this matchup, it's not gonna be easy to match Paiva's pressure, But Phillips, he has the potential. He has lots of angles. He's super creative with the kicks, with the straight punches, with the wrestling. He's the better wrestler here. He's the bigger, stronger guy, more powerful, more creative. So he's the favorite. But in terms of a bet, another tricky one, because Paiva, he's also moved to ATT, and this guy has talent. He's a high-level BJJ player. Like I said, he's efficient with his movement. He's quite tall, and quite long. Phillips is longer than him, but still Paiva doesn't care, and he's gonna march Phillips down. He's gonna maybe even eat some shots, but he has a good chin. So it's a tricky one. I think this goes to the decision. The lines are a little bit off in my opinion. Kyler is the favorite, but not like a minus 300 favorite. So it's a tricky one again, guys. If you're gonna force me to bet, I would bet Paiva at these lines. But I'm skipping for now. I would like to take Paiva at plus 230, plus 250 would be very nice to get Paiva at, I think it's possible that it goes down that line. So I'll let you guys know if I bet. But if I'm going to be betting here, I would bet the dog or pass on this one. All right. These are my comments, guys. Feel free to pause here. And Paiva by decision may be an interesting one because as a plus 200 dog, Paiva by decision is plus 400. I think this is very much possible that they open up this line. Plus Paiva round 3, it's not impossible, guys, because I don't know. I have a feeling that Phillips could slow down because of the amount of energy that he spends on those moves. So Paiva round 3, it's not impossible, But most likely it's Phillips by decision. I would take that, I would take fight go the distance if the price is right, and I would definitely take Paiva by decision at plus 400. All right, so these are my calculations, guys. Brendan Allen versus Punahele Soriano. Again, striker versus grappler in styles. Allen trying to improve his striking, but this guy is tenacious with the takedown. Great grappler, great transitions. Big guy for the division. Long, dangerous in the grappling. Puna, he's more compact, but he's a powerhouse, he's a power puncher, this guy loads up, he cracks, he has good wrestling defense. So pick your poison here. Basically, it's going to be Puna's power, Allen makes mistakes on the feet, so Puna can put Allen out. But I would say that most likely we're going to see Brendan Allen fighting smarter, being able to time Puna. And since he's the better grappler, the better BJJ player, it's gonna be tough. Puna gonna stuff some takedowns. Puna gonna get back up in the beginning, but from the second round, I think we're gonna see Allen keeping the pressure, and being able to control Puna a little bit better if it gets there. All right. So these are my predictions for this fight. Allen, in my calculations, would be the favorite, so that's why I'm betting him at plus 115. Decent value there because he could also win by submission. Not likely, but he could. And but I'm going Allen by decision. I would take fight to go to decision prop maybe because Soriano could crack Allen but not put him out. Could stuff those takedowns. But I'm slightly confident on Allen here, guys, and I would definitely bet Allen by decision a little bit more when the prop open up. All right, these are my calculations. Feel free to pause here. Chris Daukaus versus Shamil Abdurakhimov. Interesting fight in the heavyweight division. Daukaus looked very impressive, putting everybody out in his UFC career. He's fighting a veteran here in Shamil with a good wrestling and top game, at least for a heavyweight. Daukaus known by his striking, probably going to try to push the pace, crack Shamil, put him out. But Shamil is no slouch, guys. He has a good overhand. He has good timing on that right hand. He's not that easy to hit, even though he's not too impressive, he's not too big or too athletic or anything. But again, this guy is consistent. He has massive experience and has the wrestling. Daukaus gonna have to be weary here not to get taken down and controlled. But I think, honestly, guys, I'm gonna be rewarding consistency a little bit more here. I would go Shamil by decision because I think he's gonna be able to land some right hands and take and hold Daukaus down. Daukaus, I saw some interviews from him. He definitely has the right mindset for the game. He's definitely preparing, but there's a massive experience discrepancy, and I haven't seen Daukaus yet, against a good wrestler. So I'm going Abdurakhimov here. Let's see what happens. To me, definitely the value is on Abdurakhimov at plus 150 though, so I'm very confident with the bet, even though I could lose obviously, but to me the bet is the value is on the dog in here. Alright, so Shamil by decision, by the way guys, very interesting because Daukaus wouldn't give submissions to Shamil, but Shamil could control him. So to me, Shamil single straight and the parlays plus Shamil by decision, very interesting bet. Or fight code at distance if you like Daukaus, not a bad bet as well, right? So here I didn't copy the correct information, but let's leave it this way, just not to hold this off. So basically it's a pick'em to me, it will depend whether you want to value Daukaus striking over Shamil's grappling, so that's basically it. But most likely Shamil by decision. Daukaus has a good chance for the knockout as well. Yanez versus Costa, Adrian Yanez versus Costa. Very interesting one, very fun fight. This one probably will end inside the distance. Costa known by his unorthodox striking, gets inside, guys, throws hit with the head kicks and the swings. Yanez, super calm, cool, collected, technical, pinpoint accuracy, deceptively strong and powerful. I think we're gonna see Costa trying to get inside and throw heat. I think Yanez is gonna be able to pick some shots, and I don't think Costa gonna like to start getting hit by Yanez, most likely. But Yanez makes some mistakes, especially defensively. He hangs in there for too long. He's gonna try to hold the ground to crack Costa. He could get caught in this regard. So pick your poison here again, guys. I think actually I didn't rate them well in terms of the rest of the stars here. The striking is pretty good, but the rest of the stars not so much. So I'm going Yanez. Basically, I think he has more potential on the offensive strike. Actually, offensive striking wise, they're pretty much the same, but I think Yanez has a little bit more potential because of the experience. Basically, that's the difference here. 1 star more for Yanez due to the experience and the consistency, even though Costa is under their better camp. It's a tricky one again, so I'm gonna be passing on this one because I think the bookies have quite similar to what I have, but it's gonna be a fun fight like I told you guys. I'm going Yanez inside the distance. I think he could submit Costa, if he cracks Costa and takes his back or something, but most likely Yanez by TKO. Costa could definitely finish Yanez as well, he has the power, has the use and everything there, So these are my comments and my calculations, guys. Feel free to pause here. Alright, on to this is a co-main event probably. Aspen versus Macy Chiasson. Very good fight. High level fight in the women's bantamweight division. Aspen known for her aggressiveness, for her ground game. This girl, when she gets on top, she's indeed a nightmare. It's very interesting. She starts ki-eyeing those ground and pound. It's just ridiculous. She generates so much power there. She's also a good grappler, she's good taking the back, attacking chokes, keeping the position. Very tough to hold down. She's fighting Macy Chiasson here, who is evolving at a very interesting pace. This girl used to be just like a tough girl, more like a brawler, and a pressure like a bully. She's evolving to being a decent striker. She's using her range much better, now with the jabs, with the hooks. She's also a good grappler. She's a big girl for the division. She's 5'11", 72 inches. So she's a physical force there. Lad is no slouch, even though she's shorter, 5'6". She's compact, she's strong, and she's young. Lad is young, so she can definitely match the power due to the use. I'm back and forth here again, guys. It's gonna be either Chiasson being able to stuff those takedowns, getting back up, or Lad being able to control and land those ground and pound. It's a tricky one, guys. I ended up picking Lad because I think she has a little bit more chances to implement her ground game, but the value is on Chiasson, in my opinion. I'm rewarding her a little bit more with her potential. Let's put it this way, Chiasson. And as a dog, plus 150 dog, there's a little small value there, at least on my calculations, guys, as you guys see. So, but again, a very tricky one to bet. A pass would be not a bad idea here as well, you know. But I'll take a leap of faith. I'll go Chiasson. Let's see what she's gonna do, you know. But yeah, led by TKO, maybe an interesting one as well, because she's so ferocious with that ground and pound. She could definitely finish Chiasson if she gets her back, starts hammering her. All right. But yeah, what I expect gonna happen again, most likely led trying to march Chiasson down, Chiasson trying to outstrike her, trying to defend those takedowns, being able to make competitive. Chiasson can land clean, hurt Aspen led, you know, so there is this factor too. But we'll see who can implement their game plan better on each other. All right, these are my calculations. And on to the main event, great fight between TJ Dillashaw and Cory Sandhagen. High level fight, guys. I'm a fan of both of these guys. Sandhagen, he's a 5-star offensive striker, hands down. You know, this guy's super creative and dangerous. You know, he gets inside, he throws combos, he throws flying knees. You know, I don't like much him defensively, even though he has good range management. He doesn't quite counter strike so well. He's the best when he's moving forward. Also, Sandhagen doesn't have that much experience on the grappling. He makes mistakes there, guys, even though he's evolving there pretty well. You know, this guy is very tough to take and hold down, but he's fighting an excellent wrestler, striker, grappler, TJ Dillashaw. This guy is elite. He's not the biggest guy as a bantamweight, but again, this guy is definitely, you know, championship level. I think he still is, even though he has a long layoff. He's still, you know, he's 35, so, you know, could argue that he could be in his prime, you know. And this guy is such a ferocious competitor. His game, so he's gonna come ready. There's no doubt about it, you know. I'm gonna end up going with Dillashaw, guys. Sandhagen, he could get a flashy knockout as he does. He could also stuff Dillashaw's takedown, control the range. But I think Dillashaw, he's gonna be able to make it interesting on the feet. Dillashaw hits hard, you know. He's deceptively strong and powerful. I think Dillashaw gonna be able to use angles, you know, make Sandhagen move back, get worried about the takedowns, land something on the feet, and then take him down, hold him down, out grapple him. But again, Sandhagen, excellent takedown defense, super tough to hold down, big guy for the division, tall, long. Pick your poison here. To me, the value is on Dillashaw, you know, because to me it's a 50-50 fight. And Dillashaw as a plus 150 dog, I think the lines are a little bit off, you know, probably because of the size that Sandhagen has and the layoff and the Dillashaw's age. But again, guys, to me, Dillashaw is his game, you know, and this guy gonna show up, all right? So I think this is minimum a 50-50 fight, but to me, Dillashaw should be a small favorite here, like minus 130 or something like that, all right? So these are my comments and my calculations. Feel free to pause here. Let me know how you guys are betting this card, this fight, right? And like I said in the beginning, let me just show you guys real quick the Patreon. So first off, shout out to my patrons. You know, these guys make this possible. If you'd like to support the channel too, I would appreciate that very much. 3 tiers for $10, the early releases. I'm recording this video on the 7th of July. This card is taking place on the 20th. So you guys could, you know, use the early markets to parlay between cards just by following my strategy, if you trust me. So for $10, that for $15, the line by line all the props that I'm taking plus the $10 tiers, and the $50 tiers is line by line all the bets that I'm taking. So let me show you guys what I mean by that. So real quick, from the previous months, because this month I'm recording this at the beginning of July. So this is what I mean by line, you know. So I'm putting everyone that I'm betting here between cards, combining, you know, and it's line by line. Like if you trust me from my previous analysis, it's everything is here. You can basically just copy, you know. And this is for $50 tiers, so this is just a glimpse. Part of the information is here. But if you'd like to take the $15 tiers, this is the same, but basically only with the let me clear these filters here. Just with the props. All right, so you guys could compare the props with the betting strategy that I just presented to you guys. All right, so just real quick this one. So with the props, so all props that I'm taking, line by line with the amount, the amount defined the strategy, guys, a winning strategy. So this is basically what I wanted to show you guys. So just real quick from the previous months, what's the current status for? I have like 6 units profit for a prop, only for props, which is pretty good, because it's which means that I hit quite a decent rate, plus the value is big on the props. And if I'm talking about previous months, by this line by line, should show something similar to what I have in the spreadsheet. It was 13 units since I start putting things together this way. Alright, so I hope you guys liked this video. If you please like, subscribe, share with your friends, and I'll talk to you next time. Consider supporting the channel. This is Sam from Zroder Bet, bringing the best, most consistent and transparent betting strategy for you.